Hey everybody, it's Joel from Talking Toys. It's a day of the week, so you know what that means. We're going to be doing another figure review. Today we're doing Masters of the Universe Revelation TEELA. This is her more classic or OG uniform or design, which is actually my favorite of the two. I got this figure on loan from a very close friend of mine. He was letting me do some photos with it, and because I was doing photos, he said, well, while you have it, why don't you go ahead and get a toy review out of the way. Without further ado, let's go ahead and take a look at TEELA. Okay, so as I like to do with all figure reviews, before we get going, we're going to take a quick look at the box, which is, there's me. It was mostly plastic there. So we have the Masters of the Universe Revelations TEELA from the Netflix series. At the top here, we have Masterverse. On the side, TEELA, Heroic Warrior Goddess. I'm going to come back to that goddess note later on in the review. So when we look at the back here, we have some really great box art, as well as the run for the current line that came out in this particular wave. On the other side here, more box art with her in a dynamic pose. Again, looks really great. Other than that, just some legal stuff on the bottom. Okay, so with the box out of the way, let's go ahead and take a quick look at the accessories that come with this figure. You do get an alternate head without the headpiece. So you get long hair TEELA, which actually looks really, really good. They got the paint apps on there pretty good. Blue eyes, but you got the red for the eyebrows. You got the darker lip color. And it looks like you got some blush and stuff. So definitely bringing out some highlights on the face. I like the attention to detail. The hair, it is that red, there is some streaks of black or brown painted in, dry brushed in, it looks like, to give the hair depth and volume. So that was actually pretty cool. I wanted to call that out because the head is the one thing that doesn't stand up on its own. She does come with a sword, and it's just a basic sword here. I'm a little disappointed with the choice in sword, but that's because I kind of was hoping she'd get the one from the Classics line. Not too bad. Definitely got the gold yellow. You got the brown for the handle there. Some detail on the cross guard, and then of course the silver for the sword. And then of course she comes with two sets of hands. Now she's got two that are kind of open gripping hands, one fist, and then one open hand, and then of course she has the shield. And I already had the shield on because I was doing some pictures, but it's, not too bad for gold plastic. Of course, as with all shields, you have to take the hand off to slide it on, or at least I do. I'm just gonna say this as far as like some accessories that would have been cool. The snake armor would have been pretty awesome to add to this. Just had it on her, and the snake staff. But I get why they did this. And actually, I didn't know this until I checked out Spectre Creative. And he did a history on TEELA, and I'm going to go ahead and link that in the description below. And then of course I'll put a little tag up here at the top. And I highly recommend checking that out because he was the brand manager over at Mattel for the Classics line. And he puts out these awesome videos and kind of gives you some history of the brand overall. Definitely worth listening to, just so you can get some history. Especially if you're a fan, definitely worth listening to, so you can get kind of that feel of kind of getting those backroom secrets and stuff. So check out Spectre Creative if you don't follow him already. One of the things I wanted to note, because she doesn't have the snake armor, and mentioning Spectre Creative as well, the reason the snake armor, Spectre Creative will probably say this better than I will, but TEELA with the snake armor was a completely different character in her original design than without it. So the fact that she doesn't come with the snake armor or the snake staff is fine with me because it is meant to be TEELA. I just think they chose poorly on the box when they added the phrase Heroic Warrior Goddess, because she is not the goddess. More information on the goddess, the fact that TEELA was actually two different characters in her initial release. Definitely check out Spectre Creative because, like I said, he'll tell the story better than I will. Taking a quick look at articulation overall, let's go ahead and see what we've got here. We're going to start with the head. And of course, the head does spin in a full 360. You do get a little bit of up and down on the head as well. Good paint apps on the head, equal to the crownless version of her. Get the same blue eyes. Overall, really good paint apps. Eyes aren't, staring in different directions. It is on a ball joint, of course, so yeah, you get to take it off, and we can go ahead and swap this out real fast. So with this hair, yeah, you're going to get the limited movement. It's just the name of the game for the mold. The hair is not a softer plastic. It's actually pretty stiff, so I'm not going to force it. You got the white and gold in her costume design, reminiscent of the OG cartoon. And I like that. You got the armbands. You do have the shoulder articulation, so you can come all the way up. You do get a full 360 turn. You get a bicep swivel and pinless double elbow joint. Again, hands spin because of the pegs, because you can switch them out. And then you have a little bit of a wrist articulation as well. And we'll go ahead and get that out of the way. For the upper torso and lower chest, you have a little bit of a turn. So she goes back about yay far and forward about yay far, but you're not getting a lot of spin at that upper torso, lower chest. You will get a twist at the waist, but you have the soft plastic for her skirt, so you're not going to get. It's not going to split or anything, so you can't really. It's going to limit the hips to about yay far as far as articulation goes. You do have a thigh spin. You do have pinless double knee joints. At the boot, you have a spin for the calf, a calf spin. You have an ankle tilt up and down, and then left and right. So definitely some decent articulation for the figure. The skirt's going to limit some posing. I don't know if it would have benefited it having a slit on either side of the skirt. But that being said, this is also not my figure, and I'm not gonna test that theory out right now. Okay, so that covers all of her articulation. As luck would have it, I obviously forgot the other version of TEELA that came out in Wave 1, but what I did not forget is Evelyn. So I did have her for at least a comparison. And when you look at the two, I know TEELA's kind of hunching a little bit. They are almost identical to height. I think with the points on her helmet, or this little band on her helmet, that gives Evelyn a bit of an advantage as far as height goes, but not much. They fall into that kind of near 7-inch line pretty well. They come pretty spot on. I don't think it's the same buck. So yeah, that's what we had for a comparison, was at least Evelyn. So, okay, everybody. So overall, I'm actually looking at a pretty well-built figure. I'm very impressed with this mold. If I had to pick between this TEELA and the Wave 1 TEELA, I'll be honest, this is the one that I would recommend to anybody who gets a TEELA for the line. If you had to pick one, this would be it. And I think you guys kind of knew that already based on the way I was talking about this figure. If I had to give it a grade out of 10, I'm telling you, I'm going to go ahead and give it actually, you know what? I'm probably going to do a small little thing on the skirt and the ability to kind of twist the upper chest. So let's say 9.8 out of 10. That said, I want to thank everybody for tuning in, watching my review, and spending a little bit of time with me while I do what I love to do, and that's talk about toys. And don't forget to check out Spectre Creative if you haven't already. Definitely a wellspring of knowledge, and very interesting to listen to, especially when it comes to the toy industry.